Well, don't you love Christmas time? And of course, Christmas time means so many things to so many people, but to the Christian, Christ is our life, and He is our light. And He said, I'm the light of the world. And then He said this, He said, you're the light of the world. And I'm glad for that light that still shines after 2,000 years. And I appreciate so much these children and their parents. And I appreciate Miss Brenda and all of those who help her in this part of our church and doing these children's musicals and children's choir. What a blessing they are, and God always speaks to my heart. And let's all just give our attention prayerfully and quietly listen to this presentation of Jesus is the Light.
Black tea, watching the sunrise, and screaming peacocks. Nothing like it. Merry Christmas, honey.
Merry Christmas. It's a beautiful morning. You know, I was just thinking, I'm not sure we've celebrated Christmas in the same place very often. This is our first in India. Remember our first as newlyweds in a tiny apartment, then in our first house, then in a mobile home, and now in India.
It has been fun, hasn't it?
I suppose it has. At least for you and me it has been, but in order to keep everybody happy, we'll have to get a call in to the grandparents today.
Are the kids up yet?
They should be, but I'm a little worried about...
Don't worry. Christmas morning is Christmas morning no matter where you are. They'll be charging in here any minute. You'll see.
Maybe you didn't notice how mopey they were last night.
Okay, well, so far, so good. They think we're really sad.
So now it's time for phase 2.
What's that? The next thing we have to do is to convince Mom and Dad that we need to leave India and go home, Gracie.
Oh, is that me?
That's you. Do you remember what you're supposed to do? Just be a scaredy cat. Be yourself.
But...
And remember, we don't want to open any presents. We want to go home instead. That's how bad we want to go home. That's what we want for Christmas.
But I do want to open Christmas presents.
Don't you want to go home?
Yes.
Don't you want to leave India and go see snow for Christmas?
Yes.
Then you don't want presents. So just go tell Mom and Dad how much you hate this place. And...
Did you hear that?
Good, just like that. Now go tell Mom and Dad. Go, go.
Daddy, they're screaming. Make them stop.
Merry Christmas to you too, Gracie. And don't worry, they're only big birds, just peacocks. They're beautiful birds.
But they're crying.
I know. Just think of it as their unpleasant way of welcoming Christmas.
And every other day and night. Remember that train that always used to go by our house? It was really loud at first, but we got used to it. It's a little bit like that.
How is this supposed to work again?
Simple. We show them how miserable we are here, and we'll all go home.
I don't know if it works that way.
Who asked you? I'm the oldest. I know what I'm talking about. So it's your job to remind Dad about all the snow we're missing, okay?
Okay. It's Christmas! Who wants to go sledding?
Merry Christmas, Charlie.
Well, come on. Let's go outside. Mom, where's my coat?
Calm down.
Charlie, we talked about this. It doesn't snow in this part of India. Sweetie, it's hot outside.
But it's Christmas. It has to snow on Christmas.
Maybe in Minnesota it does, but not here. Remember, you're just not awake yet.
But we always go sledding on Christmas morning.
Well, we'll just have to find new traditions.
But I don't want to find any more new traditions. So far, that's all we've done here.
Selena, we knew that when we moved to India, and not that long ago you were excited about it.
But everything's new. Friends, food, school, clothes. People even make fun of my shoes.
And the water tastes funny too.
And scary birds. But I want to go home for Christmas. I want to go home.
Me too. It's not Christmas without snow.
So can we go home?
And a very Merry Christmas to you too.
Tim.
Daddy!
It's okay, Gracie. It's just a big, colorful, loud bird.
I wish it would stop.
Maybe it's time for a good old-fashioned Christmas carol.
Around the plastic Christmas tree?
Selena, please.
No, thank you.
Me either.
Guys, come on. It's Christmas morning. We're celebrating the birth of the one who brought hope to the whole human race. And the birth and life of the one is exactly why we're here in India, to tell people, to share the light of the gospel. Today should be one of the most exciting times in the world, and we're griping because there's no snow and no real tree in the living room.
And because it's hot.
Charlie.
Well, Janice, shall we break out the surprise?
We don't want any presents.
Well, now that's a new one.
Well, now, Selena, what do you want?
We want to go home.
Well, I thought we were home. I mean, there's my chair, and here's my mug, and you're my children, and this is my wife.
Dad,
Well, do you all feel that way?
we want Christmas to be the way it's supposed to be.
Well, then if that's what you want, then I want all three of you to go upstairs and get dressed to go. And I want you to pack a small bag for the trip, okay? But I'm only going to give you about 5 minutes.
You mean we're going? We're really going?
We're going to do Christmas the way it's supposed to be.
Christmas is not the holy part
I think I know where you're going with this. I'll get the candles.
I'll close the curtains.
Should I turn off the fan? It'll make it nice and muggy.
And maybe some snacks for the trip.
And we don't need this kitchen table anymore. All right, are we ready?
Close enough. All right, kids, come on down.
We're coming. I can't wait to see all the snow.
Whoa. It's dark in here.
Mommy, I don't like the dark.
It's not dark, sweetie. See these candles?
Did the fan break? There's no air in here.
What's going on and where's the table?
All right, everybody sit on the floor.
I don't like this.
Just be quiet for a moment. We're gonna play a game.
Okay. What kind of game?
We're gonna pretend that we're in a barn.
A barn? Fun game.
So, if we're in a barn, what do you think you smell? Well,
A rat. I smell a rat.
Work with me here, Selena. Charlie?
I'm good at these games. I smell oxen, I think.
What's oxen? It's called an ox. Just one.
It's related to a water buffalo.
now how did you know that?
Well, that's what they have here in India, right? I was just doing some research.
You know this makes no sense, right?
That's a good start, Charlie. Now, what do you hear?
People talking outside?
Good. And what do you see?
Dad?
Play the game, Selena. It's Christmas.
I see candles.
And maybe grass or something?
That would be hay. You're brilliant. Can we stop this now? It's Christmas. Why are we sitting on the floor pretending to be in a barn? I think it's fun. Well, I'm hot.
Oh, well, your dad and I thought that this might be a nice place to spend Christmas.
Spend Christmas on the floor? What happened to going home?
We're not going home, Charlie. Don't you get it? They're just tricking us.
No, not at all. Now, this is what you wanted, wasn't it?
You said you wanted Christmas to be the way it's supposed to be. That's exactly what we're doing.
You know, the first Christmas day itself wasn't anything special. I mean, Jesus was born in the little town of Bethlehem, but his coming to earth is what made it worth celebrating.
In the little town of Bethlehem, God would bless the earth. Their loving Savior would come down in a lowly birth. Glory, glory, Jesus Christ is born. Praise Him on that Christmas in the little town of Bethlehem, where the Christ child lay, there was not a room for them that night, only manger hay. In the little town of Bethlehem, our Messiah came, bringing peace and goodwill to the world. Blessed His holy name. Glory, glory, Jesus Christ is born. Praise Him on this Christmas morn. Praise Him on this Christmas morn.
Time to break out the snacks.
Snacks? What did you bring?
I've got some bread, water, and dried mangoes for everybody.
But we've always had waffles on Christmas morning.
But we're spending Christmas in a barn, remember? I don't have all those things.
Mom, Dad, haven't we taken this joke far enough?
Actually, I was going to compliment you on the great idea, Selena. Maybe this should be our new Christmas tradition.
Dried mangoes. I could get used to it.
Selena, what's the matter?
It's just that, well, I really miss Grandma and Grandpa and all the people we won't see because we're here. And I miss having a real tree.
And snow.
And presents.
Oh, you do want presents.
It's my fault. I told her to say that. I was just...
Trying to get us to go back to Minnesota. Here, hold this. What do you see?
It's hard to see anything but the flame. It's bright up close.
You know, that's a little like Jesus. When you're close to him, you can't see anything but him.
You mean like praying?
And reading your Bible?
Exactly. But what happens if I open the curtains? Everybody cover your eyes. Now, what happens to the candle?
It doesn't look as bright.
That's because there's a lot of other things to look at now. And sometimes the most important thing about Christmas or about life become the waffles, the snow, the tree, or even the grandparents. And India is new, and sometimes that makes us scared. But we shouldn't celebrate or remember Christmas for any other reason than Jesus, the light of the world. Our friends here need to meet him just like we need these candles to see in the dark. You need him to make sense of why we're here, and for every dark room in our lives, he is the light.
And that's why we're in India, kids, to introduce people to Jesus, the light of the world. Listen to this. In John 8:12, Jesus says, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life.
And that's why we're in India?
That's why we're in India. But there's more. Gracie, would you give everyone one of these candles? In Matthew 5, Jesus told his disciples, "You're the light of the world." But we can't be the light until we meet him. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, just like I'm doing right now. And it giveth light to all that are in the house.
Look at how much light there is in here right now with just these 5 candles. Be careful with those, kids. Matthew 5:16 was one of your memory verses, wasn't it, Selena? Can you say it?
Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven.
And that's why we're in India. The amount of light a candle gives out doesn't change when the candle is moved, and neither should we.
So, you mean we can have Christmas after all?
Should we get Christmas presents now?
I think that would be just fine.
And waffles.
Yes!
Why don't you all come and help me?
Coming!
Dad,
Yes?
I guess I'm sorry.
It's okay. Maybe we had to come all that way for you too.
I guess so. And Dad,
Yes?
Merry Christmas.